Hello everyone, welcome to Premier Math. Today we are going to discuss some important math problems on compound interest based on previous year questions. We will be solving these questions using speed matrix. So let's start our session. Our first question is, a man took a loan from a bank at the rate of 8% per annum compound interest. After 2 years, he had to pay total amount of rupees 72,900. The principal amount borrowed by him was, here, interest rate is 8% per annum. What is that meaning? 8% means 8 by 100. Now, meaning of interest rate is, if 100 rupees is the principal, 8 rupees will be given as interest every year. This is the meaning of interest rate. Now, I will convert this 8 by 100 as 4 goes 2 times in 8, 4 goes 25 times in 100. Now, 2 part is the interest and 25 part is the principal here. Now, if you take the ratio between principal and amount, principal is 25 parts, then amount is principal plus interest, that is 25 plus 2, 27. Now, the time duration here is 2 years. Now, these parts are for 1 year. If you have 2 years, square it. Square principal and amount. That is 25 square and 27 square. If it is 3 years, then 25 cube is to 27 cube. If it is for 4 years, then 25 raised to 4, 27 raised to 4. If it is for 5 years, then 25 raised to 5, 27 raised to 5. So take that way. Now, here it is for 2 years. So, 25 square is to 27 square. Now, this 27 square part is the total amount received in 2 years, which is equal to 72,900. So, 27 square part is equal to 72,900. Here you can see 27 square is 729. So, 729 goes 1 time in 729. That means 1 part is equal to 100. Then, here 25 square means 625. Then 25 square parts is equal to 625 into 100. That means here principal is option C, that is 62,500. A sum amounts to rupees 19,360 in 2 years at 10% per annum rate of compound interest. Then sum is, here it is compound interest and rate of interest is 10% per annum. 10% means 10 by 100, that is 1 by 10. That means here 1 unit is the interest out of this 10 unit principal. Now, if I take the ratio between principal and amount, here principal is 10 unit and amount is principal plus interest, that is 10 plus 1, 11 unit. Now, this sum amounts in 2 years. So, this is for 2 years. That means take the square of 10 unit and 11 unit. So, this 10 square is 100 and 11 square is 121. That means 100 is to 121 is for 2 years. Now, here it is given as amount is 19,360 in 2 years. That means this 121 unit is equal to 19,360. Here you can see 121 goes 1 time in 193. 21 plus 70 is 91. So, remaining is 72. So, 121 goes 6 times in 726. Remaining is 0. That is, here 121 goes 160 times in 19,360. That means 1 unit is 160. If 1 unit is 160, that means here principal is 100 unit. Principal means sum. Sum is 100 units. So, 100 into 160 is 16,000. So, option D is your answer because principal here is 100 unit. A sum amounts to rupees 2,916 in 2 years and rupees 3,149.28 in 3 years at the same rate of compound interest. The sum is here amount received at the end of 3 years minus amount received at the end of 2 years is equal to interest received for the third year. Now, if you take the difference between this one and this one, this is equal to interest. Take the difference. 0.28, 9 minus 6, 3, 4 minus 1, 3, 1 minus 9, that is 11 minus 9, 2. So, 233.28 is the interest received from the amount 2916 because amount at the end of 2 years will become the principal for the third year. So, this 233.28 is received from this principal 2916. So, if I convert it into percentage, this will become rate of interest here. Now, multiply numerator with 100. Now, you can see here unit digit 6, here unit digit 8. So, if I multiply with 6 with 8, I will get unit digit 8. So, here 6, 8, 48. This is 2916 into 8 will become 23,328. So, here rate of interest is equal to 8%. 8% means 8 by 100. 4 goes 2 times in 8, 4 goes 25 times in 100. That means here 2 part is the interest and this 2 part interest is received from the principal 25 parts. Now take the ratio between principal and amount. Principal is 25 parts and amount is principal plus interest, that is 25 plus 2, 27 parts. Now number of years here is equal to 2 years. So take the square of 25 and 27. 27 square is 729 and 25 square is 625. Now this 729 parts is equal to amount at the end of 2 years because we are doing it for 2 years. Number of years is 2 here. So 2916 is the 729 parts. 729 parts is 2916. That means one part is equal to 729 into 4. Here unit digit 9, here unit digit 6. 9 into 4 is 36. Remaining 3. 4 into 8 plus 3, 11. 7 into 4 plus 1, 29. So 729 goes 4 times in 2916. So one part is equal to 4 means 625 parts is the principal. So multiply 625 with 4. Here if I multiply 729 with 4, I will get 2916. So same way if I multiply 625 with 4, I will get 600 into 4, 2400. 25 into 4, 100. So 2400 plus 100 is 2500. So principal is 2500. Option A is your answer. The time in which rupees 2000 will amount to rupees 2420 at 10% per annum compound interest when the interest is compounded annually. Now take the ratio between principal and amount. Here principal is 2000 and amount is 2420. Now take the ratio. 0, 0 cancel. If I divide it with 2, this is 100 and this is 121. Now this 100 and 121, write it in terms of power. That is 10 square is to 11 square. Now this power is the number of year here. Number of years. So number of years is equal to 2. This power is the number of years. So option B is your answer. Number of years is 2. That is 2000 will become 2420 in 2 years at 10% per annum compound interest. At what percentage per annum of compound interest compounded annually will a sum of money become 16 times of itself in 4 years? Now take the ratio between principal and amount. Here it is for 4 years. So take the ratio between principal and amount for 4 years. Now sum of money becomes 16 times of itself. That means if I take 1 unit as principal, then after 4 years, 16 unit will be the amount here. So 1 is to 16. Here number of years is equal to 4. So write the 1 is to 16 in power of 4. 16 if I write it in terms of power of 4, 2 raised to 4. And 1 will become 1 raised to 4. Here you can see 1 unit is the principal and 2 unit is the amount. So principal and amount for 1 year ratio is equal to 1 is to 2. Because this 4 is the number of years here. So 1 is to 2 is the principal and amount. That is principal 1 become 2 at the end of 1 year. So if I take the difference between amount and principal, that is equal to 2 minus 1, 1 unit. So 1 unit is the interest here. Interest received at the end of 1 year. So rate will become interest received is 1 out of this 1 unit principal. So if I convert it into percentage, multiply with 100. This will become 100%. So option D is your answer. That is 1 unit interest received from 1 unit principal. That means 100% is the rate here. Difference between compound and simple interest on rupees 5,000 for 2 years at the same rate as rupees 72. The rate of interest per annum is, here rate is common for compound and simple interest. Let us consider rate as R percentage. Rate as R here. Now simple interest is same for every year. So in the first year, rate is equal to R percentage. Principal is equal to 5,000. I will write it as 5K. So R percentage of 5,000 is added as simple interest for the first year. In the second year, same interest is added. That is, rate is R percentage, principal is 5,000. So R percentage of 5,000 is added as the simple interest for the second year. Now total interest is this one. Now compound interest. Compound interest for the first year is same as the simple interest for the first year. Because here rate is common. R percentage is the rate and principal is 5,000. In the first year, there is no previous year. So interest for interest is not possible for the first year. So R percentage of 5,000 is the compound interest for the first year. In the second year, rate is R percentage and principal is 5,000 plus extra interest on interest of previous years is added to the next year. Here previous year interest is R percentage of 5,000. This is the interest received on the previous year or last year. Last year interest here is only R percentage of 5K. So here we need to add R percentage of, rate is R percentage and previous year interest is equal to R percentage of 5,000. So R percentage of 5,000 is added to the compound interest for the second year. Now here you can see compound interest is R percentage of 5K plus R percentage of 5,000. So this is the difference between simple interest and compound interest. Now you can see if you take the difference between simple interest and compound interest, this one and this one cancel, this one and this one cancel. Remaining is R percentage of 5K. Because compound interest means interest on the interest of the previous years is added to the next year. Now here we can see difference between compound interest and simple interest is rupees 72. So this one is equal to 72. R percentage of 5,000 is equal to 72. Here I will cancel 00 and percentage. Percentage means 1 by 100. So this 10 and 10 in 1 by 100. That is remaining is 1 by 10. So this 5 goes 2 times in 10. Then R square by 2 is equal to 72 means R square is equal to 72 into 2, that is 144. If R square is 144, that means R is equal to 12. That is R is equal to 12%. Option B is your answer. Rupees 3,903 is to be divided between A and B so that A's share at the end of 7 years may be equal to B's share at the end of 9 years at 4% per annum compound interest. The present share of B, that is principal of B. Here, amount formula is equal to principal into 1 plus R by 100 raised to number of years n. Here, R is equal to Rate of interest is 4%. So R is equal to 4 here. This will become 4 goes 25 times in 100. So 1 plus 1 by 25 is equal to 26 by 25. Now you can see here amount at the end of 7 years is equal to amount at the end of 9 years. So this will become amount at the end of 7 years is equal to principal of A into 26 by 25 the whole raised to 7, which is equal to principal of B into 26 by 25 the whole raised to 9, because amount at the end of 9 years is equal to amount at the end of 7 years. Here, without writing this formula, you can see that here 4% is the rate of interest. 4% means 4 by 100. So, 4 goes 25 times in 100. 1 unit will become interest and 25 unit become principal. So, amount will become 25 plus 1, 26. That's why 26 by 25. And here, rate is common. So, take the difference between number of years 9 minus 7. So, principal of A by principal of B will become amount parts is equal to 26. Principal parts is equal to 25. The whole raised to difference between 9 minus 7 is equal to 2. So, this is equal to 676 divided by 625. Now, you can see in ratio, principal of A plus principal of B is equal to 676 plus 625, which is equal to 1301 parts. Now, in question, principal of A plus principal of B, that is total amount is equal to 3903. So, here 1301 parts is equal to 3903. So, this one goes 3 times here. So, 1 part is equal to 3. That means, here we need to find present share of B, which is equal to 625 parts. So, 625 parts will become 625 into 3. 600 into 3 is 1800. 25 into 3 is 75. So, 1875 is the answer. Present share of B is 1875. Option C is your answer. If you don't know this formula, you can also find this answer without using formula. That is, here 4% is the rate of interest. That means 25 part is the principal and 1 part is the interest. Then 25 plus 1, 26 part is the amount. Then take the ratio between principal and amount for 2 persons A and B. Principal is 25 parts for 1 year for both A and B. Same way, amount is 26 parts for 1 year for A and B. But here, number of years for A is 7 years. So, 25 raised to 7 parts of A is the principal of A and 26 raised to 7 parts of A is the amount for A. And number of years for B is equal to 9 years. So, 25 raised to 9 parts for B as principal and 26 raised to 9 parts of B as amount for B. Now, you can see this amount at the end of 7 years equal to amount at the end of 9 years. That is 26 raised to 7 parts of A equal to 26 raised to 9 parts of B. But here this is not equal. So, we need to write here there are 2 people. So, we need to write parts of A as A and parts of B as B. Now, you can see 26 raised to 7 parts of A is equal to 26 raised to 9 parts of B. That is, we equalize the amount because this is in ratio format. So, we need to write the parts as well. So, here A by B is equal to, this one goes 2 times cancel. So, 26 square. Now, if you take the ratio, principal of A by principal of B, which is equal to, principal is 25 raised to 7 parts of A and 25 raised to 9 parts of B for B. Now, you can see A by B is equal to 26 square. So, multiply it with 26 square. Now, this one goes 2 times here. So, this will become 26 square divided by 25 square, which is equal to 676 by 625. Now this is equal to 3903. So 1 part is equal to 3. That means 625 part is equal to 625 into 3, which is equal to 1875. So option C is your answer. There is 75% increase in amount in 5 years at simple interest. What will be the compound interest of rupees 40,000 after 2 years at the same rate? Here, for 5 years, increase is equal to 75%. Then, for 1 year, increase is equal to 75 by 5, that is 15%. So, rate is equal to 15%. That means 15 by 100. 5 goes 3 times in 50, 5 goes 20 times in 100. So 20 unit is the principal and 3 unit is the interest. Then take the ratio between principal and amount to calculate the compound interest for 40,000. Here compound interest is calculated at the same rate. That's why principal is equal to 20 parts for 1 year and amount is equal to principal plus interest, that is 20 plus 3, 23 unit for 1 year. Now we need to calculate compound interest for 2 years. So take the square of 20 unit and 23 unit. Now here 20 square is equal to 400 and 23 square is equal to 3 square is equal to 9. 2 into 3 into 2 is 12. Remaining 1, 2 square plus 1, 5. So here 400 is to 529 is the principal and amount for 2 years. So I will write it as 400 parts and 529 parts. If you take the difference between principal and amount, which is equal to 129 parts. 529 minus 400, 129 parts. Here 400 parts is equal to, that is here principal is equal to 40,000. So equate 400 parts with 40,000. Now you can see 400 parts is equal to 40,000 means 400 into 100 is 40,000. So this is 1 part is equal to 100. If 1 part is equal to 100, 129 part is the compound interest. Compound interest is 129 parts, which is equal to 129 into 1 part is equal to 100. So 12,900 is the compound interest for 2 years. So option C is your answer. Find the amount which Shyam will get on rupees 4,096 if he gave it for 18 months at 12.5% per annum. Interest being compounded half yearly. That means every 6 months interest is added to the principal. Here rate for 1 year is equal to 12.5%. Then rate for half year, that is rate for 6 months is equal to half of 12.5%. That is 12.5 by 200. Now 12.5 goes 8 times in 100, then 16 times in 200. So 1 part is the interest out of 16 part principal. Now here time period is equal to 18 months. 18 months means there are 3 6 months. That is 3 half years. So number of half years is equal to 3. 3 into 6 is 18 months. Now take the ratio of principal and amount. Here principal is 16 part for 1 year and amount is principal plus interest, that is 16 plus 1, 17 part for 1 year. Now here number of half years is equal to 3. So 3 times interest is added. So take the cube of 16 part and 17 parts. Now here 16 cube parts is the principal. Here principal is given as 4,096. So equate 16 cube parts with 4,096. Here if you find 16 cube, which is equal to 8 into 2 the whole cube. So 8 cube is equal to 512 and 2 cube is equal to 8. Now you can see 500 into 8 is 4,000, 12 into 8 is 96. So 4,096 is 16 cube. So 16 cube is equal to 4,096 means here 1 part is equal to 1. So if you find 17 cube, that will be your answer. Total amount at the end of 3 years will be 17 cube. Here I will write 17 cube as 16 plus 1 the whole cube. You already know a plus b the whole cube is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square. Actually, you don't need to write this formula, but this is very simple. If you look at this structure is very simple. So if you apply this logic in 16 plus 1 the whole cube, this will become here 16 cube is equal to 4096 plus 3a square b, that is 3 into 16 square into 1 is equal to 3 into 256 plus 3 into 1 into 16 is equal to 3 into 16 plus 1 cube is equal to 1. Now you can see 3 into 250 is 750, 6 into 3 18. So this will become 768. Now 3 into 16 48 plus 1 is equal to 49. Now you can see 760 plus 40 is 800 and 96 plus 4 is equal to 100. So total 4900 plus 8 plus 5 13. So 4913 is your answer. Option C is your answer. The compound interest on rupees 1800 at 10% per annum for certain period of time as rupees 378. Find the time in here. Here take the ratio between principal and amount. Principal is equal to 1800 and we don't know the amount here, but we know compound interest is 378 for certain time period. So add 378 to principal. Now 1800 plus 200, 2000. So 2178 is the amount for certain time period. Now take the ratio between these two. 18 goes 100 times in 1800. 18 goes 1 time in 21, remaining 3. 18 goes 2 times in 37, remaining 1. 18 goes 1 times in 80. Now 100 is to 121 is equal to 10 square is to 11 square. Now power is 2. That means number of years is equal to 2 here. So option D is your answer. The difference between simple and compound interest compounded annually on a sum of money for 3 years at 10% per annum is rupees 93. The sum in rupees is, here 10% is the rate of interest for both simple and compound interest. 10% means 10 by 100. That is equal to 1 by 10. So 1 unit is the interest out of 10 unit principal. Now take the ratio between principal and amount. Here principal is equal to 10 parts for 1 year and amount is equal to principal plus interest, that is 10 plus 1, 11 parts for 1 year. Now number of years is equal to 3 years. So take the cube of 10 parts and 11 parts. Now 10 cube is equal to 1000 and 11 cube is equal to 11 square into 11, that is 121 into 11. 121 into 11 is equal to, write 1, 2 plus 1 is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, write 1. So 1331 is the 11 cube. Now take the difference between principal and amount. Here principal is 1000 parts and amount is 1331 parts. So difference is equal to 331 parts. This is in ratio. So we need to write parts here. So here compound interest for 3 years is equal to 331 parts. Now we need to find out simple interest. Simple interest for 3 years. Here rate of interest is 10%. So 10% for 3 years is equal to 30%. So 30% of the principal is simple interest for 3 years. Here principal is equal to 1000 parts. 1000 parts. We need to write parts because this is in ratio. So here percentage and 00 get cancelled. 30 into 10 parts is equal to 300 parts. That is simple interest for 3 years is equal to 300 parts and compound interest for 3 years is equal to 331 parts. Now take the difference between 331 parts and 300 parts, which is equal to 31 parts. So 31 parts in the question is given as 93 rupees. That is difference between simple interest and compound interest is 93 rupees. So here 31 parts is the difference in ratio, but actual difference is 93 rupees. So write it. That is 31 part as 93. That means 1 part is equal to 31 goes 3 times in 93. 1 part is equal to 3. If 1 part is 3, here we need to find out sum in rupees. Here sum is equal to 1000 parts, which is equal to 1 part is equal to 3. So 3000 is the original sum. So option C is your answer.